Myself and my family have been coming to RCC now for a few months and just trying to really figure out where we are. And we came in with a lot of questions, and I believe they're slowly becoming more clear as to what we're thinking and what we're believing. Myself personally, the meaning of Christmas since we came in has, for me personally, evolved more away from the materialistic things and to what it actually means. I always knew what it meant, but I guess coming here and listening to the sermons and reading the Bible more, it makes it more real. As to why Christmas is Christmas and the meaning of it, more than just family gathering and getting gifts given. Who got what. I mean, Christmas is the birth of Christ. It's the birth of our Savior. It's something I've always known, but maybe shied away from and not really, not always thinking about it. For me personally, I think he's drawing me closer to my wife. I try to think before I speak and be a lot more patient with my wife and my kids and just generally in life. I feel more of a togetherness. My kids are asking questions, and every once in a while they'll just come up randomly and be like, "Yeah, well, that was God." And it's cool, but for me, the reservations are still there as to what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, and what I'm believing. But slowly, day by day, we'll just take it one step at a time and see where we're at. I came in here with a lot of questions, more questions than answers, and I've been learning and going through and giving it a valiant effort and trying to figure out where I stand and just trying to make the most of it, trying to figure out where I am and where it all fits in with me.
When I think about Christmas, I think about my grandma. Christmas at our house was always one of my biggest memories. It was really fun. There was lots of people. Anyone was welcome. We had just random strangers be brought in, and my grandma would just go get them a Christmas present out of her closet, wrap it, put your name on it. She had a deep freeze that you could just open it and get goodies out of. We played lots and lots of large group games that were kind of embarrassing. We sang a lot of Christmas carols together. We acted out the nativity every year. I didn't retire from the nativity until my kids were about 12. There was lots of laughter and lots of joy. If I would have brought any of you there, she would have just brought you in as one of the family. Something that was really important to my grandma was that everybody knew about Jesus, and she would have definitely made that a priority to ask you, do you know Jesus? And if you didn't, she would definitely tell you about him. If you would have came to our house, you would have left feeling like somebody pretty special, and I always did. If I was having a rough week or a rough day, I would make a plan to go to Laurel, and I would drive up there and spend the weekend with my grandma. And when I met Tyler, I started taking him up there, and we brought our kids up there. They all loved Gigi. She just knew how to make everybody feel special. My last memory of Gigi is her walking around the farm holding hands with a couple of my kids. She just always had that way of saying yes. Grandma, can I play in the flower bin? Sure. Can I eat another cookie? Yeah, you can. So she just had a way of just making you feel at peace and just that you were welcome. In one instance 6 years ago, my dad called on the phone and said Grandma had a heart attack. She was on a ventilator. They had tried to bring her back, but we just had to hang out with her for like 5 days. We sang Christmas carols with her. My whole family was in the hospital. It was kind of a cool time because 2 people accepted Christ at her bedside. Well, the ventilator might have prolonged her life, but we had to let her go. It was like I lost one of my best friends. I was definitely changed. I wept for days that turned into months, that turned into years. Christmas no longer felt joyful. My big joyful family was still gathering together, but the glue that held it together wasn't there. And it just felt kind of empty. A couple years ago I was driving to Walmart and it was pouring down rain, and I just was crying, not pretty cry. I'm sure the people around me thought I was pretty cool. And all of a sudden I was just crying out to God, like, why did you take her? Like, she's one of the best things. And all of a sudden the clouds just broke open and the sun shone warm and bright in my car, and I felt like God's presence, and I felt God was saying to me, she was an example of me. She had my spirit living in her. Everything she was to you, I am, and I will never leave you. And I was just reminded in that moment that God is our Emmanuel, God with us, and He doesn't leave us, and that He gave me my grandma as a gift, and she was a picture of who He truly is. So when Christmas comes around, I try to think about the things that my grandma was to me, and it reminds me that God, that is who God is to all of us, that He is our perfect Savior, and He is our Emmanuel, and that He is God with us.